Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to Kaleidoscope Astrology. This is Chelsea, bringing you an energy update for the full moon in Libra, happening April 5th and 6th, depending on your time zone. This will be happening April 5th on the west coast of the United States at about 9:34 p.m. And if you are on the East Coast, this will be happening at 12:34 p.m. on April 5th and 6th, 2023. Now this full moon is happening at 16 degrees of Libra and is opposite the sun, also at 16 degrees in Aries. And this sun is conjunct Jupiter and Chiron. This is actually a Chiron Cazimi, which means the sun and Chiron are at the exact degrees conjunct at this time of the full moon. We also have Venus, the ruler of this full moon, at home in Taurus. And Venus is making a harmonious sextile to Neptune in Pisces. And then we have Mars in Cancer making a harmonious trine to Saturn in Pisces. And both of those planets are making a sextile, which is another harmonious transit, to Mercury in Taurus, sitting closely with the North Node in Taurus. Now, I have picked a tarot card that I think represents the energy of this full moon well. And that tarot card is Justice, number 11 in the Major Arcana. And I've picked this particular Justice card from the Herbal Tarot deck because it has plantain as the energy represented by Justice. And with our Sun conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, I thought this energy was perfect for this full moon, as plantain is a healing herb. If you make it into a poultice, you can put it on an open wound, an injury, or an infection as a poultice to heal a wound. Now, just a word before we get started. I am running a special on my website. Right now, I am offering 15% off your first natal chart reading or your first tarot reading. And those are Zoom call readings. The natal chart and tarot readings are Zoom call readings. And there's also an option for a recorded tarot reading. And you can use code FIRST15 to receive 15% off your first reading with me. I will leave that link in the comments. Please visit my website to book a personal reading with me. That's kaleidoscope-astrology.com. And as always, if this content resonates with you, please give this video a like and remember to subscribe to my channel. Now let's take a closer look at this full moon in Libra. So this full moon is happening at 16 degrees of Libra and 16 degrees of Aries. And this full moon is all about relationships, as Libra is the sign of relationships. Some interesting things I've found about this full moon. On the East Coast of the United States, this is happening at 12:34 a.m. in the morning, and that is 1234. which to me is a symbol that things are lining up cosmically. Everything is falling into place. And also the 16th degree, where this full moon is happening. In numerology, 1 + 6 is 7. And 7 is the mind and creativity, which I think just relates back to the sign of Libra, which is also the mind and creativity, as Libra is an air sign and a Venus-ruled sign, which Venus rules beauty and creativity. So this full moon is all about relationships and how we relate to others. And not just romantic relationships, this is relationships of all kinds. So this could be relationships, definitely a romantic relationship, but could also be relationships with your family, with coworkers and friends, or siblings, or how you just relate to others on a day-to-day basis. Now, Aries, the opposite sign, is the sign of self, the ego, and it is quick to react and think about things. And Aries is a sign that says, I know what I want and I know how I'm going to get it. So this full moon is all about balance. It's us versus me, and finding where we can create a balance between what I want and what is best for us as a whole. Libra is about connections, communication with others, and finding harmony and balance in a situation. Libra tends to be a bit of a people pleaser and is always going to err on the side of making peace. Libra is also a sign that relates to beauty and the arts because it is a Venus-ruled sign. So our creativity is heightened at this time. And above all, this is about relationships and how we connect with others in our lives. So the most significant thing about this full moon is its conjunction to Chiron, the wounded healer. So in astrology, the story of Chiron is that Chiron is a centaur who was different from all of the others. The other centaurs were a bit rowdy and kind of troublemakers, but Chiron was a bit more peaceful and found a knack for healing and herbal wisdom and became known as the healer amongst the centaurs. And Chiron eventually ended up with a wound himself and could not heal this wound. Even though he was this master healer, Chiron had a wound that he could not heal himself from. So he became known as the wounded healer. So Chiron in a natal chart represents a pain point, a point where we are triggered and we have a wound that doesn't ever necessarily heal. It's always going to bring up a pain point for us. Now with this Chiron Cazimi, Cazimi literally means in the heart of the sun. And when a planet is Cazimi, it is at the exact degrees conjunct with the sun. And what happens is this planet passes through the heart of the sun and it is bathed in the sun's radiant golden light, and it is said to be at its purest form at this moment. And as it passes through the heart of the sun, it becomes purified, and this energy becomes stronger. So with this full moon happening, with a Chiron Cazimi in Aries, this is asking us to examine our ego, Aries, the self, and Chiron is a pain point where we tend to break down our ego and doubt ourselves. So this Chiron Cazimi is asking us to look for that pain point and where it is that's breaking down our self-confidence and in turn having an effect on our relationships with the Libra full moon. And if we're able to heal that wound in ourselves, when we heal a wound, it becomes stronger and thus makes our relationships with others stronger. The other significant aspect that's happening with this full moon is not only a Chiron conjunction, but we also have a Jupiter conjunction to the sun. And Jupiter is the planet of luck and abundance. And it is literally like a treasure chest sparkling in the sun, ready to make our hopes and dreams come true. So this is strengthening our relationships, our relationship with ourselves, and giving us the confidence to heal from our pain point and heal our relationships. And this is bringing in luck and abundance in the area of relationships. So the days around the full moon, we are very likely, if we get out and have some fun and get over our pain and connect with others, it's very likely that this is going to bring luck into our lives and abundance. Now, next week, on the 11th of April, we're going to have a Jupiter Cazimi, where Jupiter passes through the heart of the sun. So this full moon is leading us up to that Cazimi point as well. So it's very important for us to heal through this full moon so that Jupiter can bring us luck and abundance. And with Jupiter close to the sun, what we can think of is if we distract ourselves away from that pain that we're feeling and do what makes our inner child happy, that's going to pull us away from that pain and bring us luck and abundance. Now, just something about me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do to heal my inner child today. I am a circus artist, so later today I'm going to get together with my friends and practice on the Spanish web and make my inner child happy by spinning around in circles. Wonderful day to spend the full moon. So not only do we have this conjunction with Jupiter and Chiron to the sun, but we also have Venus in her home sign of Taurus. And Venus is the ruler of this full moon because both signs of Libra and Taurus get Venus as their ruler. So Venus is in her home sign of Taurus, and Taurus is making, or this Venus in Taurus is making a harmonious aspect with Mars and Saturn. And this is, or I'm sorry, Venus is at home in Taurus and is making a harmonious aspect to Neptune in Pisces. And then we have Mars in Cancer. Sorry, coming into focus here. We have Mars in Cancer making a trine to Saturn in Pisces and the South Node in Scorpio. Now these aspects are not exact, but this is an approximate grand trine with Mars, Saturn, and the South Node in water signs. And then we have the energy of Mercury in Taurus conjunct the North Node, and that is making a sextile to Mars in Saturn. So what does all of this mean? This could mean social recognition and rewards. There could be a potential for financial rewards, with Venus being the ruler of this full moon, and karmic rewards, and also fated meetings. People that you are supposed to meet with in this lifetime could appear at the time of this full moon. So there is a lot of abundant energy here to work with. This is a very special and potent full moon. Folks with planets or points in cardinal signs may be feeling this full moon the most. The cardinal signs being Libra, Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn. If you have planets between 10 and 20 degrees of these signs, you may be feeling this energy the most. However, this is a pretty significant full moon, and we are likely to all be feeling the energy of this full moon for about 3 days before and 3 days after the full moon. So thank you all once again for joining me here. This is Kaleidoscope Astrology. Please visit my website, kaleidoscope-astrology.com, to book a personal reading with me. And as always, please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and blessings for the full moon in Libra.